I'm realizing just now that this kind of looks like one of those ISIS videos where I'm like, probably shouldn't put that in. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some basic poor guy kit. I think there's a couple points that I would like to make and a couple inconvenient truths for gentlemen of my currency situation. And that is the fact that our kit, as relatively poor individuals, that everything that we have has to have multiple uses, because we can't afford to go out and buy single-purpose, single-use items. I am going to go through some of my items and some of the different situations, and honestly, I'm going to give a price breakdown to let everybody know that you don't have to have a huge budget, but you definitely should invest in quality gear that you won't have to buy twice. Switch the camera around because hopefully that'll be a better lens through the back camera or rear camera on my phone. So the first thing that I would like to go over is the first thing that I recommend anybody really buy as far as a field kit. Now we'll get into like the EDC stuff and everything that I think you should probably place before this in a later date. But first and foremost, you need to have a rifle. I think everybody should have a black rifle, you know? And this is not news. There's plenty of other people out there that can tell you what the advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons of different type of rifle platforms are. But personally, in the United States, everybody's got an AR, everybody's got the same mags, everybody runs the same ammo. If you're a United States citizen, this is the way to go. Now, when I first got my first budget rifle, budget meaning the cheapest rifle I could put together, it was in late 2019. I started putting it together, and it was a Bear Creek complete upper, a Palmetto State Armory lower parts kit, and a Poverty Pony lower, an Anderson Manufacturing Company lower stripped. And I put it all together, and it worked fine. It shot rounds. I could make impacts at 100 yards. But I did notice immediately after 200 rounds, the handguard started to wiggle. The just parts started to come loose, you know? There was a lot of wear on the bolt carrier and everything, and I did not feel like that was something that I could trust my life to. Should shit hit the fan, or whatever the instance, or whatever fantasies that we may have, I did not trust it to hold up under those conditions. So I eventually upgraded to this, which is a Bravo Company 16-inch rifle. It is a fantastic rifle, and it cost me $1,200. Now, I know that sounds like, oh my god, I could get 2-3 rifles for that price. You could, but this one will outlive all 3 of those rifles. I mean, it's a very well-built rifle, and you get everything that you need for $1,200. So then I also put Ultradyne C2 flip-up sights on it. Not cheap. You could definitely go the route of like the polymer Magpul flip-up sights for, I think you can get a set of those for $100. This is what I get the most shit for, this red dot. This is a Vortex Crossfire 2. It's just a regular old red dot, man. But you can see from the front, the glass has that tint to it. Now, a lot of people complain about that, the dot's not bright enough, etc., etc. I agree. I'm not going to sit here and try and defend a $150 red dot like it's top tier, greatest thing of all time. It's not. But it has sat on both of those rifles, and I put almost a case of ammo through those 2 rifles with this red dot on them, and it's held 0. It's a good budget red dot. How about that? The light I have on it, the weapon-mounted light, Streamlight RMR2, or RM2. That's what it is, not RMR. It's bright as fuck. When it comes to weapon lights, what people want is you don't want your light to spill all over the room. When you turn it on, you don't want it to be like a ceiling bulb light. You know what I'm saying? Where it lights up the whole entire room. You want the light to go where you're aiming it. You want it to go in the direction you're looking. You don't want it to light up an entire area, because if you're using a weapon-mounted light, you're using it to spot enemies, not to, illuminate an area. It's not a bad light, but if I could go back and save my $150 I spent on it, I would probably just save up until I could afford a stream light of some sort. $150, $150, $1,200, and then I'm gonna include the $200 for the flip-up sights, but they are an unnecessary addition. There are cheaper flip-up sights out there that do just as good as these ones, but do you, man? I mean, think about when you're building your kit, how much activity you do on a regular basis, and once you start training more, and once you feel like you can invest more into it, absolutely go get the better stuff. But one thing you should not skimp on is the functionality of the firearm itself. You need to be able to put rounds on target every time without fail. So when it comes to the guts, I mean, if you're gonna buy a strip lower that's cheap, like an arrow or a spikes or whatever, the fitted needs to, or the upper needs to be fitted really well. The internals, like the bolt carrier group, the lower parts kit, the barrel, the gas system, all of that has to be really well built. I wanted everything to be put together by professionals, by somebody who knows more than I do, really well the first time. So I went ahead and bought the $1,200 BCM. This here is a Blue Force Gear Vickers sling. Bravo Company, when you buy one of their rifles, they give you a QD mount to put inside these M-LOK slots, so you can put it wherever. For a long time, you could see even before I painted it, I had it mounted way up on the front of the handguard. I realized just a few days ago, actually, when I was using it, I hate having my sling mounted way the fuck up there. So I put it back here, and it gives you a lot more room to function with. And the Vickers sling, it comes with those retractable loop. So that allows you to cinch the rifle to your body when you're not using it, and then extend it whenever you need to operate. LARPerate. Even if you're not training every day, every week, every month, if it doesn't go bang every time, and you get into a situation where you need it to, that's a problem. That is a problem just for you, not for me, because I invested. Next on the list. In my recent endeavors, I have allowed myself to abuse my gear a little more. And, well, I'll show you. So, this here is a Diamond Tactical chest rig that I have had for close to a decade, and it's had very minimal use until the last couple of years. So I bought it or I didn't actually buy it, I was given it for an airsoft. I was an airSofter back in like 2009, 2010, that era. And it technically holds, a pistol of magazines, because you can see here, these are mag placards on the front, but back here you can actually double stack AR mags in the cummerbund itself. But we have these double stacked AR mag pouches, and then there's a 3-wide 3x2 mag placard right here. I have my bow fang in there. So there's 8 magazines, and then the bow fang radio, and then at the top it's got 2 pistol mag pouches, but I really don't use it for that. I use it for like a mini fire kit. I have like a lighter in here and stuff. And then on the back, I just run it slick because I have a big ass pack that I carry, and I don't like shit between my pack and me, So I want to run this slick, even though there's molly on it. There's really no reason for me to put shit on the back of it, especially considering the fact that I'm usually out there by myself, and I can't, have somebody grab shit out of the back for me. So this is probably a $50 airsoft chest rig, and it's usually fine. I will say, when it comes to things like Velcro, buttons, zippers, when you start to get into more heavy training, more actual outdoorsy shit, using your gear, taking it on and off repeatedly, you will start to notice that things fall apart. Now, just the other day, let me see if I can find it. I don't know if you can see in there. It's like JB welded, but the buttons just pull straight out of the fabric. And I don't know what reason that, I don't know what causes that, but it definitely does. So you just have to either baby it, which you really don't want to do if you're out there LARPerating, or you need to buy quality gear. So this chest rig has lasted me 10 years because 8 of those years I wasn't fucking using it. Body armor. This is it's branded as a Uprise Armory YK1 plate carrier. It just says Yakita on it. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where they like wholesale, you know, buy like Chinese shit, and then they just rebrand it for themselves. It's cool though. I mean, the dude was really nice, and he got the order to me pretty quick. But what I did was I bought this plate carrier for $120, $150, something like that, and it's okay. I like the quick release buckles here because it's very convenient. It holds the plate carrier onto my body very well. These mag pouches on the side are removable. The ones a little further back on the cummerbund are not. It came with a triple mag placard and an admin pouch. The admin pouch was on the back, actually. I run the back of my plate carrier slick just because, again, it's one of those things you can't get to it unless you are taking off your plate carrier or you have somebody with you. So usually I would have 1 mag here, 3 up front. That's 5 in the rig plus 1 in the rifle. 6 mags ready to go. Plate carriers are cool. I really ought to train in them more, but it's also heavy. If you think you're going to wear armor and walk around in the woods for 5 hours with your pack and your rifle and, you know, your bushcraft stuff, your combat load, all that shit, well, I hope you're in the gym a lot. Front here is actually a Hoplite Level 4 26605 swimmer cut, and in the back I have a sappy cut. I did the swimmer cut because when it jabs out here a little bit, this may be me being a pussy about it, but I wanted the swimmer cut because I like to reach across. You know, I like to be able to have full mobility of my shoulders, and when you have that sappy cut sticking out a little bit, it's just that much more inconvenient to move your arms around. For me, at least. Like I said, I am just a LARPerator douchebag who does this in his free time, and I really have no operating experience. So next up is my pack. My pack is not a combat pack. It's not a military surplus. It's not meant for combat in any way. It is actually a High Sierra Pathfinder 60-liter pack, and what I keep in it is all my bush gear. Now, I will do a separate video on this, but it holds everything I need to survive where I live, which is remote Alaska. And I have, on the outside, I have my hatchet. I have, in my waist strap, I have my headlamp. In here, this is just a little, like, mesh pocket. I would keep, like, trail mix or something, just because when you're running, you know, through these hills, through 3 feet of snow, you're burning a lot of calories. On the outside here, this is just a mag, extra mag. There's 4 more inside the bag. In the top flap, I guess I can go through that. I don't want to pull out all the contents of my pack because it's a little more difficult to repack it, but just in the top flap here, I've got my water kit, which is just a Sawyer Mini. I've got some toilet paper, my fire kit, and then on the side here attached, you'll see this pouch actually also came with the Yakita Y2 or YK1 or whatever plate carrier. It's just kind of an admin pouch, but I have it. This is my trauma kit. So in here, obviously I have a tourniquet, chest seal, combat dressing, you know, just the basic IFAC stuff. So all of this all together, the plates, the carrier, the rifle, you're looking at $3 of stuff. And I did not get all this at one time. And it's not great stuff. It's not top of the line stuff, but it definitely covers all the bases that you need as a prepared citizen. You have your rifle, you can make contact at 150, 200 yards, you can survive in the bush, you have plate carriers so that you can take fire if absolutely necessary, you can load up this motherfucker with 15 mags and you know, lay down cover. You can do a lot of things with just that. I'm not saying by any stretch that this is the all-encompassing loadout that you should definitely have, but it is definitely an example of a budget-friendly idea that you can put together yourself. Think about your needs. Think about the area you live in. And I know that's just parroting what all kinds of other people say. But at the end of the day, you have to be accountable for yourself. You can't rely on some dude on YouTube to tell you, this is what you need. This is what you have to have. Because he doesn't know you. None of us do. So think about your area. Think about, you know, the capabilities of your rifle. How much ammo you should have on your person at any given time. And run with it, man. It does not have to be complicated to have quality gear and still, you know, pay attention to what matters. But anyway, I don't want to get too rambly, too over the top, but I just wanted to make a quick video explaining what I have, what I run, why I run it, and how you can too. So this has been Free and Poor. Thank you for checking out the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.